Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to look into detachment. Now, what does that actually mean and why would we practice this? Well, to simply say, we are detaching to create space. We are detaching to not bond anymore with things, situations, people, environments that are unhealthy for us. But we keep repeating certain behavior styles, certain thought forms because we're used to it. We do it because this is familiar. We do it because it feels normal, and we are not trained to actually start to look at those areas. Okay, where can I detach to create more space for myself so that I can actually grow in those areas that I would love to, because my computer is already full. I have zero space anymore to learn more, to grow more, to expand. Okay, so this is what we are going to look into today. I have written down 10 practices for you that will help you to start with the detachment. It's not such a big deal, but it needs to be trained. It needs your patience, and yeah, let's really look into this, because I find this really cool practice that you can do anywhere, that is something where you can work on yourself. And by doing also something like this, you're getting more confidence in yourself, you're getting more self-esteem. You see, all those practices are here to support you, so you're basically supporting yourself. And on the top of that, because you're doing it, because you're sharing what you're doing, you're sharing, and people can see that, other people start to recognize that, they start to practice the same, because it feels good. It feels good to care for yourself, and we have to learn that, I think, more, because it has been way too small in the past, way too it was way more about what other people think, how people view us, will we get judged, anything like that. And I feel like it's time now, and so many people are actually waking up to this. So yeah, let's start right away. My name is Patricia. If we are meeting the first time, I'm a coach, a life coach, and yeah, this is what we are doing, right? We start to look into our inner world, and because of that, we start to grow from inside to the outside. I feel that this is something many people should actually start to look into. And not to say that this has been already started since quite a few years, where people are looking more into their inner world. They start to see how impactful this is actually. You're not getting a certificate for doing the inner work, but you're getting way more than that. You're getting more joy, more happiness, more love, more compassion for yourself, more patience. You get to do things that you would have never done, simply because you start to look into your goals more. You start to look into who you are and who do you want to become. And this is in your hands. But if you're waiting too long, well, it's not that you cannot change anymore, but why would you wait? Why would you wait to experience you if you could already do that? Okay, with this said, let's dive into this. Okay, so the number one I have here is self-reflection. What do I mean by that? Well, you always have a consequence by holding on to something. You have a consequence in a sense of you will behave differently, you will do things different, you will feel different, you will think different, okay? All those things have an impact on you. The way how you show up in the world has an impact on you. So you need to start to reflect more on how do I behave around certain people, about work, about my colleagues, about my friends, my family, okay? Start to see, where do I need to detach? Where do I find things in my life that are not healthy anymore, that I need to reflect because of my own boundaries, of my own feelings I have towards the situation, or because the way how I get treated is not how I want to live anymore. You see, we have to learn to communicate that, and not in a judgmental way, not in a shaming way, but in a sense of, hey, this is not okay for me anymore. I want something else. I need something else. And you know what? It's okay to ask for that. But first, really, the rule number one is to start to reflect from yourself. Okay, how do you speak? How do you view people? Do you always have judgment against other people? How do you view the world? Is it rather negative or is it rather positive? And how does this impact your life? You see, what is the cost for this attachment? Can you detach? Can you release? Can you look into this more? Right? So that's number one. Number two is a really important one, simply because if we have an attachment style that might be insecure, that might be, right? We are talking about the attachment styles like the secure, the anxious, and secure, anxious, and what was the other one? Avoidant, right? I think there is one more, but I mean, those are the main ones. We talk about acceptance in the point two. Acceptance in a way that if we have an anxious attachment style or an avoidant attachment style, we try to control. We try to already see the outcome. You know, I have worked with several people who told me this, and I was one of them too. I tried to control the outcome, thinking that if I have a plan A to Z, I will be safe. Having everything planned out, controlled the outcome. I figured then I will be safe. But we all know we can't control everything. We can't control other people. We can't control the next day even. We have no idea what is coming our way. And because we are attaching ourselves so much to be secure, to feel safe, to feel loved, right? We do everything we possibly can if we have those attachment styles. But I guess we need to come back into the center and start to see, okay, I might need to be okay with not having a plan A to Z, because I can't control the outcome, because I cannot control my partner, because I cannot control the way how my friends behave. I cannot control any of that. I can't even control the next 5 minutes that are happening, right? I have zero control over that. And accepting that and getting a sense of it's okay. Like, I can stay in that regardless. I can breathe through it regardless. Even though I might start to get very, very hyper, very problem solving, right? I want to solve everything. If you have an attachment style like that and you actually want to really go into problem solving mood, it's very much said in our culture that this is a good thing. But actually what we are doing is we are training our insecurity, right? We are training to feel safe by controlling the outside, and we can't. It's such a misconception we are using here, and it's really not in your favor. So try to let go of that. Try to view it as something that you can't control needs to go, right? Create space for yourself and let it go. Let it go. It's not for you anymore. Then we come to part number 3, which is about letting go. This one is so crucial. See, we hold on to so many things: material, friends, people, family members, and work, and money, and all those things. Your house, your I don't know, whatever is there, right? Whatever is important. Holding on to something that is actually ready to go costs you so much energy. It's not good for you. To look into those areas and to see, okay, is there anything that I can let go? Is there any trauma I can let go? And even if it means today 0.5%, you know what I mean? Don't go like it has to be all now, but go in with, okay, maybe I can have this difficult conversation and then I can let go another percentage. Maybe I can have, I don't know, I can do little things to really soften this, to let go already a little bit. You don't have to make yourself, if I cannot do it all the way, I'm a loser, I'm not capable. See, trauma, for example, comes in layers. So there are certain things that will come and show up all the time again, but the way how they show up will be very different than when you started to work on those things. They will be softer. They will not show up in the same way. When you know my story a little bit, I lost my mom when I was 16. And I had to work through so many layers to actually be able to feel good about it. Do I sometimes have some tears, or do I want to cry about it? Yeah, but it takes me a couple of minutes and then I'm okay again. And I mean, not okay like people can watch me on the streets and I look okay. I mean, I'm really okay. Like from here, I'm really okay. I healed everything I could. And whenever something is coming up, I start the process again. But by letting go parts, by letting go and shedding my skin that is not mine anymore, is helping me to grow in such a big way. And it just needs a little practice. It needs your patience. So letting go is really a key factor, actually, to make space and to create more things that you like. Okay? We have actually touched base the next step already a little bit. We talk about boundaries. Now, this step is quite crucial to create boundaries, is because we need to understand our values. We need to understand how do we want to be treated? How do we want to treat other people? How do we want to show up in life generally, right? In our family environment is the hardest, because the way how we used to show up, maybe now, no, in the in the younger years, now it makes sense. In the younger years is very different than right now. Now, maybe you noticed at Christmas dinner or whatever, right? As soon as all the family comes back together, it's almost like you're getting transferred back in the 80s when you were a small child, or I don't know, in the 90s. When you start to recognize, holy moly, I still behave like this 20 or 12-year-old girl, 5-year-old girl, you know, start to understand that you need to grow up. You need to take care of yourself and you need to create boundaries. It's the most difficult one with your family because they've known you forever. So the way how to do this as well is step by step, recognizing, do I want to show up like this? Is this in my best interest and therefore also for the other people? Is this really how I can grow the most with not having any boundaries set, right? See, creating boundaries is not so much for other people. Creating boundaries is to really create your self-love within. It's more about you than about them. Creating boundaries is about, okay, can I really go to this Christmas dinner? Am I strong enough? Am I at the place where what I give out is pure, is loving, is kind, is compassionate? If I don't have that, then I might not go because I don't feel the strength right now. So I might not go to this dinner because I'm not feeling in the right state right now. I will not be able to express what I really want to say, right? If you are just starting out to be drama, for example, right? You know, the general behavior that you used to have when you didn't receive what you wanted and you started to like really be like whiny and like a little child kind of behavior. If you can't be in a more peaceful state, then it might not be the time for you to go there. So you have a boundary. The boundary is, I need to feel safe first before I can actually start to express. Okay? It's not so much about, you loser, don't come in my life. It's really more about, hey, I create my own boundaries because I respect myself so much and therefore I respect you too. If I cannot give out the very, very best, I will not be able to receive it. You see what I mean? It's like it goes in both ways. It's not about to push people away. It's about, I want to give out the best I can and therefore I receive the best I can. You know, if you're not in that state, you will never be able to receive the same. It is truly, you attract who you are. And this is why you have to work on yourself first, right? If you're with people who are kind of bullying you all the time or always like, well, I mean, the way how you look today, the way how, you know, I mean, you shouldn't wear this. And if this comes from your parents, it really hurts, you know, it really, really hurts. If you get punished all the time from people you actually love, it really hurts. So what you need to do is you need to create the boundary that is as much as, I'm not taking this anymore. And you better start to change, or I find another idea of how we manage to be together. I'm not here to all the time take your bullshit, right? But it's also because you are treating them in their best interest, you know, in their highest possible way that you can. You're not in the selfish mood where you are like, I'm just receiving. You're also here in the giving part, which is actually equally fun, but you know what I mean. So the next one is about being mindful or doing mindfulness meditation. What do I mean by that? Create moments where you are so present with your life, so present, so aware, so in your body, okay, that you can literally feel the sun, the air, the floor, the nature, whatever, right? See, we try to live so much in the future or in the past that we forget that the creation is in the here and now and not in the past. This is why many people are actually creating from the past experiences, because they feel they are still there. And see, your body has no clue that this has been in the past. Your body is just reacting. And if you're not taking control over that, well, you recreate the past. And if you now feel stuck, this is a training. You need to train your mind, your body, to stay present. And you cannot just say, okay, I'm here now. This needs to be experienced, okay? If you feel pain, if you feel love, if you feel whatever it is, however your day is, feel it in this very moment and then drop it again. Start to be so omnipresent, so clear with where you are in the life at the here and now, and that you're so okay with where you are in the here and now. This gives you so much peace, I tell you. And space to not all the time like tangle back where, I don't know, your mom was mean to you, your dad was an idiot, your sister, your brother, whatever, was mean, or old things that happened to you and are now repeating, right, at work, with your friends. Learn to stay in the present and practice that. Practice that to such a high degree every single morning, 5 to 10 minutes, in the evening the same. It needs practice, but when you start to do that, you start to see so much change. And by the way, there are actually meditations on my channel, so you can check out those ones if you want. Number 6 is about to look after support, to really look out when you need to detach. Okay, this could be coaching, this could be some other treatments, this could be your family, this could be friends who you trust. Everybody needs people in their system that are here to help them grow and support and be loving and be kind to themselves and ultimately also to you. It helps you to reach out and to not feel you have to do it alone, or you're not in a supportive system. If you don't have that, you could basically join maybe a woman group, a men's group. I actually always thought it's nice if they are not split, the two groups. I start to realize that there are just other different patterns that we have, like women and men. And sometimes it's very useful to share your insights with another woman who may have similar experiences of betrayal, for example, or with hormones or anything like that, that is just really pure woman stuff, right? It helps to get the support from there, start to see that your emotional well-being might be very different through the cycle of the 28 days we have, right? And so it's important to understand that support is not bad. If you have been growing up, and this is actually in addition, it's not even on my paper. If you have a thought pattern that is something like, if I cannot do it by myself, I'm not worthy to receive. If I cannot build myself, I'm not worthy. I haven't worked enough. Then I'm a loser. This is a pattern I had for many, many years. and I'm sometimes still trying to overcome it. And it got very, very good. But I'm telling you that those patterns are here to be identified. And when we start to seek support and we start to see, oh, you're actually dealing with this differently, and you actually seem to be quite good with that. Can you share me how you're doing it? Ask for their experience, because sometimes that's all you need, and then you can just adjust accordingly, right? Don't take anything ever from other people as they know better, but take it as exploration. Take it as maybe it's a possibility. You see, this is why my website calls Explore Possibilities, is because it gives you ideas that you can use. It's not the only rules that you should apply. It gives you ideas, and these ideas are here to expand. If you don't feel that they expand you, please leave them on the side, right? It's try and error sometimes, and we have to really acknowledge that part. Okay, number 7, uh, focus on your personal growth. What do I mean by that? Well, okay, one sip. Do things that help you expand, that help you to feel good, that help you to feel the love here, okay? Because the creation, when you start to create something from a loving place and you start to focus on what would bring me joy, what would make me smile, what would help me to really feel good about myself, then you're not only constantly healing, like at one point you get really tired if you're on a fast track healing, and your body as well needs a little rest in between, where, oh, actually I'm really good in this area, oh, here I could have some fun too, here I'm really good. This could be sport classes, this could be really doing just the practices that I have mentioned before, and recognize how this is actually helping you growing, how this is helping you to reach your goal in a more precise way. How can you do this by focus and setting intention? Personal growth is very much a journey, and means for everybody a little bit something else. For me, personal growth means to A, feel more joy every single day, B, do things I love, and not just from the outside, not just in the doing part, but also in the being, taking rest, being here for myself, understanding, checking in. Do I have the capacity to meet this person? Do I have the strength to do this or that? You see, it's a bit infused by the points before, where you start to see like, I think I really got it. This feels good, right? So it could also be that you are going for new classes, using your mind a little bit more. For me, actually, when I started this journey, I started to see that the mind is hindering me in so many ways, but I feel like we need to include the mind more often, but start to see when the mind is limiting us, because it does what it has learned. It's not so much about being connected with the universe. It's more about, hey, this is what I learned, and based on this, I show you this. Obviously, you experience fear because this has been from my past experiences, So I'm showing you, hey, watch out, caution, this is dangerous. not being so hard on yourself when you feel that, you know. It's not bad to have fear, but it's not so useful if you are using it and acting from it. That makes you a little bit weak, right? Okay, number 8. Oh, I like this one. Is about practice gratitude. So often I get asked, like, why would I do that? I mean, well, I tell you why. If you start to practice gratitude for what you eat, for the way how you look, for the way how you show up in life, for other people, how, I don't know, how they support each other, right? It could be very, very small things, for your cat, for the shower, for, I don't know, for a new equipment you maybe bought. Small things that make it so precious, that makes it so real and honest. And it's about, I would really say, it's about practice to feel love, you know. It's about letting love in. So if you have known my story, right, I have not experienced in my upbringing so much love. Actually, it was really about go and play there, but don't bother us too much. So love was never really present in my life, and I had very difficulties to let this into my life. And with practicing gratitude, I could start to feel love, but from a place where I knew it's not going to backfire on me. I knew if I just feel that and if I let that in, I will be more safe in other relationships because I know how this feels like, and I will not be overwhelmed. I will not be somehow, I don't know, be disturbed or anything like that. I will be okay because I know how it feels like. I know how to create it myself. I know how to get there. And it's not so much about the other person anymore. Gratitude really helped me to experience love on a safe place where I knew it's not going to be used against me. It's not something where I need to be scared of because everything I'm creating from within, and I let this out. And you know, when you're meeting people and you can start to feel gratitude for them, you can start to feel the love for them. It makes it really easy if you have practiced that before and if you know how it feels like. And if you had a similar upbringing like me, then it's difficult to feel that right away. Yeah, I really had to learn this big time. Okay, number 9. Such an important one. Detox from your triggers. Detoxing, I mean by that, learn to understand your triggers. Now, what is a trigger? A trigger is if you have come across a situation, a person, something that brings up an old story that is immediately bringing you from 0 to 100, from 0 to 80, right? Like the emotional gap between what you have felt before and the rage you feel now is just so high, is so different than the normal state. That's a trigger, and it's usually caused by a trauma, by something you might not even be aware of. Maybe you have been bullied, or maybe you have other experiences from your past that were really painful. Okay, a trauma is not always I don't know, like hey, my mom passed away. A trauma could also be that you were left alone for like 5-10 minutes and no one cared for you, right? And for a child, this is very, very heavy stuff. For an adult, not so much. But it has an impact on you. Can we now say this is a trauma already? Well, not really, right? But it was still impactful, it was still painful to you. And so, learning to see those triggers in adulthood where you feel left alone, where you feel nobody cares, where you feel, hey, I'm not enough, and where those faces are showing up constantly again and again and again, okay? If you join the family club and you go there and you have a talk and you see how much triggered you are, maybe it's a good time to remove yourself from the situation for a period of time and detox in a sense of, okay, these are my triggers. When those things are said, I'm so triggered. Holy crap, I'm just triggered. And I know my reaction might not be normal. You can also see this by, would my friend behave the exact same way than I do? And this is not about, do you understand why I'm reacting like this? Okay? That's not it. I'm talking about, do you, when you place another person in that exact scenario, would that person also be so high in rage or really be scared in this high level? You see, emotions are here to show you what and where do I need healing. Okay, they're not bad, they're not a threat for you, but your body feels like this is threatening you. Your body feels like something is going on. But when you start to work with these emotions, you start to see, okay, they're just a signal. It's a signal. And if you're having an overflow of signals because you haven't really worked through them yet, then please do yourself a favor. Remove yourself from the situation. Give yourself peace. Give yourself some time to rest and go one by one. Don't go in all the way because you will not be able to handle it. And in addition, you rather hurt yourself and the people around there because you're not able to really hold the space for yourself. So get back, center, detox, write down what is it that bothers you so much. Honor that, okay? We go back to letting go, acceptance, okay? Accept how you feel, okay? You cannot control them. Accept how you feel. Let it go, okay? It's like a cycle, letting it in, letting it go. See, you experience those emotions regardless. You cannot really skip that part, okay? I tried. You can't. If you're looking at it like a circle where it's coming in, and then you say here, you say, no, it gets stuck. It literally gets stuck. Your emotion gets stuck in your body when you're experiencing a heartache or whatever. It gets stuck if you're not overheating. If you're not understanding that part, that you need to make sure that the circle is going on, right? You need to make sure to breathe through it. See, breath work is such a underrated practice, right? And it's so easy because we always have the breath with us. It's so easy to really breathe in, letting it in, allow it in, and letting it go. You have to practice that. You see, just because you're allowing it in doesn't mean you're not letting it go again. It means you're not holding on to it. It will come regardless. That's the whole difference. It will come regardless to you. But if you can't say bye, but you experienced it, then you're on a on a better path. Okay, the last one is number 10 is about patience and self-compassion. Oh my God, this is such an important one. You know, patience while doing this detachment, actually any healing you're doing is fundamental. And everyone who knows me knows I have been such an impatient person. But you see, I started to realize that the more I give myself peace and practice and know what is meant for me is going to come my way and it cannot miss me. And this is not about a spiritual practice whatsoever, but every single step I have done in my life, nothing of this could have missed me because it was meant for me. And I could see that over and over again where I tried to do something else and it just didn't happen. It just did not happen. I had to go through those experiences even though I didn't want it. Even though I didn't want to experience that, but I needed it for the higher goal. You know, sometimes you have to understand that patience and learning to see that going through things doesn't mean you're not worthy or you're not capable of receiving the end goal. By the way, the end goal is never really there because, you know, life goes on and on and on. But to see that regardless where you stand in life has nothing to do if you're worthy or not, because you're always worthy. You're always worthy to receive. You're always worthy to give. It's about understanding that certain things are not coming your way in that thing that you would like it to, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean that it's not coming, it just means it will come different than you expected it to come. And it's crucial for you to understand that part, to give yourself peace in that whole scenario. All right, my loves, I hope this video has helped you. Let me know in the comment section right below which is the one that you need the most at the moment. Let me know, share, and I speak to you very, very soon. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. So this video is actually reaching a little bit more people. All right, with this said,